Okay, I have an interesting plant species to discuss with you today. It's a species of a
It's a
very
species of
rare
a
tree that
very rare
grows in
tree that
Australia,
grows in Australia,
Idovia
a detailed
hardiniana, but it's better
helium, but
known
it's
as the
not big
nightcap oak.
as nightcap
Now, it
oak.
was discovered
No,
only
it's
very
discovered
recently,
very
just a
recently,
few
just a
years
few
ago.
years ago.
It remained
It
hidden for so
remained
long because it's
hidden
so
for so long
rare. There
because
are
it's
only
so
about,
rare. There are only about
200 of them in
200 of them
existence.
in
They
existence.
grow in a
It grows in
rainforest,
the
in a mountain
rainforest, in the mountain
range in
range
the
in
north
the
part
north
of
part
New
of
South
New
Wales,
South
which
Wales,
is
which is our
a state in
state
Australia.
in
So
Australia.
just 200
Just
individual
200
trees in
individual
all.
trees in all.
Now,
Now,
another
another
interesting thing
interesting
about the
thing about
nightcap oak
that
is that
cactus is
it
it
represents a
represents
very
a
old
very
type,
old type
kind of tree that grew
that
100
grew over
million years
100
ago.
million years ago.
We found
We
fossils that
have
old
fossils
that
that
bear a
are old that
remarkable
bear
resemblance to the
remarkable
tree.
resemblance to the
So it's
tree.
a primitive
Well,
tree,
it's a
a
primitive
living
tree, a
fossil, you might
living
say.
fossil,
It's a
you must say.
relic from
It's
earlier
relic
times,
from
and
earlier
it has
time,
survived
and it
all
has
these years
survived
without
all these
much
years
change.
without much change.
And it's
And
probably a
it's
kind of tree
probably a
from which
kind
other
of tree
trees that grow
from
in
which
Australia
tree
today
that
evolved.
also evolved.
Just to give you an
Just
idea of
to
what we're
give you an
talking about,
idea
here's a picture of the leaves of the
here's
tree
a
and its
picture of
flowers. I don't know how well
this,
you can see
I
the
don't know
flowers.
how well
They're those little
you see
clusters sitting at the base of the leaves. Okay, what have we tried to find out about the tree since we've discovered it? Well, why is it so rare is one of the first questions. How does it reproduce is another question.
That's another question.
Maybe those two
Maybe those
questions
two
are
questions
actually
are
related.
actually related.
Jim?
I don't know,
I
but
don't know,
I can
but I
imagine
can
that,
imagine
for
that,
instance,
for
seed
instance,
dispersal
seed
might be a
disposal
factor.
might
I
be
mean,
a factor. I mean,
if the seeds cannot really
if the
disperse in a wide area, then the tree may not colonize new areas. It can't spread from
it
the
can
area where
spread
it's growing.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a very good answer.
That's really good.
Of course, you might think there might not be many areas where the tree could spread into, because it's very specialized in terms of the habitat. But that's not really the case here. The suitable habitat that is the actual rainforest is much larger than the few hectares where the nightcap oak grows. Now, this tree is a flowering tree, as I showed you. It produces a fruit, much like a plum. On the inside there's a seed with a hard shell. It appears that the shell has to crack open or break down somewhat to allow the seed to soak up water. Now, if the nightcap oak if their seeds remain locked inside their shell, they will not germinate. Now, actually, the seeds, they don't retain the power to germinate for very long, maybe 2 years. So there's actually quite a short window of opportunity for the seed to germinate. So the shell somehow has to be broken down before this germination ability expires. And then there's a kind of rat that likes to feed on the seeds as well. So given all these limitations, not many seeds that the tree produces will actually germinate. So this is a possible explanation for why the tree does not spread. It doesn't necessarily explain how it became so rare, but it explains why it doesn't increase. Okay, so it seems to be the case that this species, this nightcap oak, is not very good at spreading. However, it seems, though we can't be sure, that it's very good at persisting as a population. There are some indications to suggest that the population of the nightcap oak has not declined over the last, many hundreds of years. So it's stayed quite stable. It's not a remnant of some huge population that has dwindled in the last few hundred years for some reason. It's not necessarily a species in retreat. Okay, so it cannot spread very well, but it's good at maintaining itself. It's rare, but it's not disappearing. Okay, the next thing we might want to ask about a plant like that is, what chances does it have to survive into the future? Let's look at that.
Let's
Well,
look at that.
I've been thinking about